Oh, yeah. Change of Plans podcast. We are live. It's Joe and Vinny.
Yeah, we're here. We're here. We missed a week.
That was my bad.
Joe was on one last Thursday.
Oh, my God. I got to tell you.
Before we get started, this is why I love this show.
Because there's no structure, but like we get to vent. So when people ask what this podcast is about, yeah, you're going to learn some life lessons. We're going to hear two dudes just talking about their days, have a little fun. But Joe was angry last Thursday. Angry man.
I guess you could say I pulled a Larry David. I went into a meeting with my boss, and he had a thing, and that was the thing.
What was the thing?
It was stupid. It was honestly this. I've been doing this now for 28 years. And in all the time that I've been doing this, by far, this was the stupidest thing of all time. And I told him as much. And I did a, are we done here?
Dude, see, here's some hints on communication, right? You don't say that to your boss. You might say,
I even did the are we done here like this? What was that move?
Yeah, but here's a problem I have with that being a boss. Like, I'm all about communicating with my employees, but the buck stops with me.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
There's got to be a line, Joe. Like, if I had an employee that said, "Are you done here?"
Are we done here?
No, well, my response would be, "You are done here," and that'd be the end of the conversation. Like, that is
all right.
That is wild.
I'll give you one better.
I can't wait to hear this. I don't know how you have a job. You've already been fired. Go ahead. Next one.
All right. So I'll tell you right now. I got a warning, a written warning.
They still give those, by the way. That's weird.
No, this is hilarious because this fucking guy goes, I go, "Are we done here?" He goes, I just need your John Henry.
Well, that's wrong.
I said, yeah, it's fucking Hancock.
He's got to be a Trump supporter talking like that.
Obviously. And
1,000% less.
Yeah. And then I left. I literally turned around. I walked out the door. People were like, "Oh my God," people heard us. I mean, it was loud. And I got to tell you, there was a point in the meeting where again, I don't want you to think I'm just like a disrespectful asshole, because I'm not, but I was 100% in the right. And he had his mind made up and whatever. I don't give a shit. What am I going to do? So I was talking a lot of shit, as I do, because I feel like I can. I've been doing this a long time. And there was a moment in there where, Vin, I backed the fuck off.
You should. We're going to get into this today. So I got to give you some tips.
I felt like I was, to your point, moments away from, then you can just leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I did. And that's when I was like, "Are we done here?" Because, like, seriously, if I stay in this room anymore, I'm going to say some shit and we're not going to come back from it.
Yeah, but listen, I argue for a living. It's what I do 17 hours a day. And with these perceived smart people, who call themselves attorneys or judges, and I can tell you about maybe 8% of these people qualify as smart. But it's constant. It's every time. And I used to be like a reactive pit bull. Like, I would just hear something and just immediately red zone. But what I've done this year, and it's 100 times more effective, is I don't say much. right? So they're saying shit, and then you wait 7 seconds. Like after they're done, just let it hang in the air and see what the person's reaction is. And then you ask them to repeat it. Because then that's when the tenor of the conversation changes. Because now they know, okay, I'm not under the skin. And two, what I just said was probably wrong in some capacity. Then you diffuse the situation. You can have a conversation. You get a yelling match. No one ever comes out right. Now it's just awkward at work.
Yeah.
You've accomplished 0 things. But I tell you, the power of silence. Like I do a lot of divorce work, and I was talking to a lady today, and like a lot of my clients are like, hey, I'm trying to talk to my spouse about this stuff, and this dude's just not talking or not responding. And I'm like, okay, then don't have the conversation. Less is more, right? Because you keep talking to the guy and you're crying and you're getting more upset and more irate, but it's your fault at that point because you're engaging in this conversation the other person doesn't want to engage in. Right. But the power, you know how many times attorneys say, I had an attorney today say some off the wall shit, and I just stared at them. I didn't say anything, and it was really awkward in the room. And then I just said, are you sure about that? And they immediately questioned themselves. But the best part of that whole thing is they walk out more infuriated than if you were just yelling at them. Because now you look like you're just better than them because you're not even responding. We got we had the snack monster just come in.
Can I have those?
All right, Dad needs his snacks. Kid got the phone. This guy just got diabetes right in front of you. That was an aggressive mouthful of snow caps. So once again, we just went off the rails a little bit, and you are chewing aggressively. I don't think you've gotten over this Thursday yet. You guys can't see his foot, but I've never seen him with his leg crossed and his foot shaking since I've been sitting in this chair. Like, he is wired. He didn't take a nap before the show, and he is chewing so aggressively. Like he just ate a mouthful of coal and is just going to spit out 7 diamonds.
Do you know these are only $1?
They should be less, bro.
They should be less.
Anything that costs $1, I'm not eating, bro, because I don't know what it's made of. And they're turning a profit. He's reading the ingredients. This is actually the nicest podcast we've had because you're just super quiet. Maybe I should just bring snacks down here.
I do like me some snacks.
Are you a sweets guy or a salty guy? Well, get done chewing first. Dude,
I like both.
You're gross right now. You sound like you're getting bigger. I can feel your nipples start sweating.
You know what's the funny thing about these? You can't eat one of these.
Well, no, because they're so small, bro.
Yeah. You got to eat like 60 or 70 snow caps.
That's like the guy or girl who eats one Tic Tac. Like, I think if you're pulling one Tic Tac out of a container, you're certifiably a psychopath. Like, you thought about shooting someone at some point. But yes, I think like it's good to air your differences. And we just so in my house, I got an 18-year-old, and it's a different dynamic in my house now between my stepson and my wife. And I've been watching it for months because it's just it's like an awkward sitcom every day. And recently the kid started airing out some of his grievances. And my wife reacts better than me. So, because I tend to not take my professional communication skills and bring it home, and I just fly off the handle, right? Like but he's a very rational kid. So, for example, Sunday I was supposed to take him to Zach Bryan. I have zero interest going to New Jersey at 7:00 on a Sunday to see a Zach Bryan concert. No interest whatsoever. But parents got to go. He wants to take his girlfriend. I buck up on Friday. I'm like, I'll take you guys. Friday night, he's supposed to sleep at his friend's house. Ends up sleeping over at his girl's house and lying about it.
Yeah, I could have told
right.
you that.
So at first we didn't have confirmation, but it's mother intuition. Mother's not stupid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
I might have gotten some confirmation, relayed some messages, whatever. So he comes in Sunday, like my wife and him had to talk while I was golfing because I'm a bad parent, and in times of distress, I go golfing. It works out for me. I feel good when I get home. So they had a conversation, but then my wife came back and was like, I really don't want him going to the concert, which I agreed with. You lie, that's about a big fuck around and find out moment, right? And I never had to discipline the kid ever. But there was two things that I was excited about because I've been waiting for this moment for 6 years. Like I always wanted to be a parent who just disciplined someone, right? Like just drop the hammer like my mom used to.
Yeah.
And two, I really don't want to go to this goddamn concert. So I saw a window and I fucking Superman through it.
How much were his tickets?
So let me just get to the end of the story, then I'll tell you because it's part of this fucking story. Right?
I would think it's the first thing I just thought of. That's terrible.
So his mom's like, hey, you can't go to the concert. And he's like, what? Wow, we just had this conversation, yada, yada, yada. And then he looked at me for like I was going to be his backup.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, you're not going to the concert. It's not up for discussion. You made a decision. There's a consequence to that decision. End of discussion. And the look in this kid's face was so satisfying to me. It's one of the 5 most happy moments when you just see the life and the soul of a child when they realize that they're still a child, right? But to his credit, we went golfing after because I wanted to have a talk with him, and he's like, listen, I'm just mad at myself. Made a stupid, like a very rational, like well thought out, like I'm not mad at my parents. I would have been ripped shit, right? But going back to the cost, so he's hemming on, I'm out all this money, and it was like $300 a ticket. I'm like, I was like, I just gave you $600 in cash, which means I'm out money. Never mind the driver I hired and had to cancel, which cost me another $300. I don't want to hear about how you're out of money. I told you not to lie, and you did. But I don't want to hear about it from parents who are like, I had to discipline my kid, because it's the most satisfying thing I've ever done in my life. Ever. Like, I'm waiting for the next one.
Wow.
I am waiting for the next one, guys.
Now, I gotta say,
but you have to be, I will tell parents, you have to be direct with your kid. You can't be waffling and be like, hey, I understand what you were thinking. This is a direct order. This is like the military, right? There is no, we're going to debate this out. Let me make my points. I don't give a fuck about your points because I'm the parent.
But where did he suffer in any of this? Because it sounds like Friday it really worked out for him.
No, oh yeah,
and
100%. What I mean, was it worth a Zach Bryan concert? I'm not going to answer that because my wife listens.
I was
to
18.
This.
I would say probably.
No, but he was hurt, and then I woke up the next morning and I was pissed because I found out Bruce Springsteen was a special guest.
All right. Do you know why he was? You know what this all is?
What is it?
All right, here's what happened.
I really didn't want to go to the concert.
This kid's a genius. He's a genius. He lost nothing in this.
You're wrong, bro. He loved Zach Bryan.
So he
bought cowboy boots. That was $300. Bought his girl an outfit. But no, I'm telling you, like the look on his face, I thought he was gonna cry.
I think he played you.
It's impossible. I'm telling you right now, because he was still mad about it last night. Like he loved Zach Bryan, but he didn't play me. No. What do you think he got out of it? He can't go over his girlfriend's house now. Like he got fucking.
All right. How much longer does this kid got under house arrest before he's free?
If you are living in my house, I don't care if you're 40. It's my house, my rules. End of discussion. I don't care if you're a friend, family, or foe.
At what age are you going to tell this kid what he can and can't do? Because he's getting close.
If he's at my house, no age limit.
No, that's you can't.
I am like, first of all, if you're fucking 30
yeah.
in my basement, I can tell you whatever the fuck I want because you're 30 living in my basement. You get my drift?
Yeah.
Okay. And since we're paying for school and all of the air that he breathes, I get to tell you what the fuck to do. Now, when you don't need me that way, we'll have a discussion. But the point is, you don't lie about anything. You don't, because that's disrespectful to us.
All right.
Or if you're gonna lie, don't get caught.
You giving him his money back is you getting played. Oh
no, but it's my money. It's my money.
No, listen.
I didn't give him the money after I found out. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I gave it to him the night he needed the tickets.
Yeah.
That's you. You're out of your mind. What? So I can take my $600 back and give it back to him when he goes back to school? Little douchebag. He is getting a little big for his britches,
And then you guys went golfing. I don't know. It sounds
it
sounds like he had an awesome weekend.
No, he played like shit, so which was awesome. And two, that is where we communicate.
What other grievances does this kid have?
I'm not doing that on today's show. It's too close.
Give me one. Just give us one. What was like the one where you were like, "Oh, fucking what?"
And I think this is just this generation, right? So it's you don't support my school decision, let's say, right? Because I think everyone who has a brain is like Quinnipiac, Sacred Heart, or Coastal. Where should you go? Right. And I don't think this generation realizes that how much my wife did to get him into this school. Right. So we're not supportive. No, we are financially into. I was asleep last night, but they had this conversation. He's like, well, I meant more emotionally. And that's where it's weird with this generation. Right. And thank his lucky stars that I was sleeping, because if I would have heard that, first of all, my wife is a miracle worker. She works a full-time job. She trains people. She takes care of the house and raises a kid and takes care of all this shit for college. Right. So first of all, I might have put him through a wall because that's just some spoiled brat shit. But two, the world doesn't pay in hugs. Right. I had the conversation. Hey, I don't agree with it, but that doesn't mean we don't support it. And I think that's where it's tough for parents to say that, right? You cannot agree with what your kid is doing, but you can support it, and you have to let your kid fail and make mistakes, right? But I think it's just more of, I think as your kid gets older, and I think if it's different if it's like, a son and a mom communicating, right? Like I think it'd be easier if you had a daughter and a mom, right? But like when you're becoming a man and you're trying to negotiate these conversations with your mom, I find it hilarious, which drives my wife crazy because I just look around and I'm like, this shit is really weird. And I'll just say it. I'm like, is it weird in this room? But that was his biggest stink. And he's 18, so I try not to be too hard on him. But it also like, hey, I'm not going to tell you whatever you want to hear, because that's going to make you warm and fuzzy inside, because that's not the real world, right? Like that's not, I think parents are like, so there's like handles everyone with like kid gloves, like pillows. Like I knew I grew up, I said something stupid, I had a bad idea. Like my parents are like, you're an idiot, with a bunch of cuss words around it, right? Like you don't have to talk to your kid like that, but you got to say, hey, if that's your decision, that's your decision. But I'm going to let you know this is why I disagree with it. But if that's what you decide to do, the tough part as a parent is letting them do it. And I think that's the tough part. I don't know. I mean, you have older kids, you have younger kids. You're probably like a missing father anyway. So
you're going to be really old and he's going to pull that plug out and he's going to be like, Zach Brown, motherfucker. He's going to get you back.
You know what? I don't care, because I would smile while I watch him pull the plugs. I would expect nothing less. Yeah, so like I didn't feel bad about it at all. Like, and he would, like I said, I think he reacts like 1% of kids would react to it.
I think as a parent, you really can't give a shit how your kid feels about what you decided.
Yes, I think we give children we give them way too much power, right? Because they don't understand. It's like getting a puppy and expecting it to be trained, like, and just do whatever you say and it's going to understand you. Like, you need to give guidance regardless if they're like 12 or 18. I think the 18 guidance is a little more, hey, here's some real world shit. Because I could say when he turned 18, a switch flipped for me. I looked at him different, right? Like, I'm leaving the house. I know your car's still there. Now you're late for work. I'm not waking you up. I don't care because, like you got to start making these decisions on your own. But I think the coddling that a lot of parents do, the excuses, right? The things of that nature, just let your kid fail. And there has to be repercussions, right? You got to have consequences. I mean, I had a genuine fear of my mom growing up as much as I love my mom, but I was a handful and she let me know I was a handful. But I think shaping that, like being raised that way, like put things in proper perspective of me that there are consequences to your actions. And these kids don't have it now. I'm blessed to have a kid. I really haven't had to worry about that.
How old were you when you first did like a sleepover with a girl or like hooked up outside the home?
Well, that's different, dude.
No, okay, it's not.
No, it is. Like sleeping over and hooking up.
Okay.
Like hooking up is not sleeping over. Like hooking up could be in like a Kohl's dressing room.
What you choose to do during your sleepover is your business. And if you waste your time playing board game, that's fine. But
no, I was in a pretty strict household though, so that wasn't flying in high school, bro. I remember when I was dating my ex-wife while I was finishing up law school. I was still in my parents' basement. I was that guy. And I literally would wake up and my mom sitting at the foot of my bed with my girlfriend in the bed. Like, hey guys, how you doing? So it was so weird at like 26. I didn't feel comfortable having a girl, but I was also in my parents' basement. So it's probably had a factor going into it. But no, like me being 18 and the thought of staying over a girl's house, I can tell you right now, there is no hoo-ha good enough for me to deal with the repercussions of such actions. I'm telling you right now, ain't no way. Ain't no way. You're out of your goddamn mind.
I struggle to be a hypocrite with my kids when it comes to doing things that I did that I know any teenager or kid in their 20s is going to do, to act like, oh my God, how dare you?
See, I don't agree with that at all.
How could you not, though?
I don't agree with that at all.
I'm saying you already know the shit kids are up to.
Yep.
You know why they're up to it. You know they're gonna lie about it to do it, because when you're a kid, you can't go to your parents and be like, hey, listen, you're not doing that.
No,
so
no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
It's hard to be hypocritical.
It's not being hypocritical. You're trying to improve your kid and not do this shit.
I stole my parents' car to drive my girlfriend to a motel.
Yeah, and that was wrong.
No, of course it was wrong.
Okay.
It was very wrong.
What if your kid stole your car?
Do I have any regrets? Zero. If one of my kids came home and was like, Dad, I took the car, what am I going to do? I'd be like, oh, that's messed up.
See, this is a problem with America.
No, I'm trying to set an example for these kids that I understand, I relate.
No, there's rules.
It's awesome.
There's rules. And yes, you could break. I'm not mad about your action. I'm mad at the fact that you broke my fucking rule. It was really my wife's rule, and my wife does everything.
What was the rule?
You don't sleep over your girlfriend's house with no
bullshit.
Parents home.
What a bunch of bullshit. It's bullshit.
It's bullshit for your house, but it's not bullshit for mine. It's not. I don't. Here's the beautiful part about.
I'm not saying I want my kids going sleeping over people's houses. I'm just saying I think
it's the lie, bro. Like if you were just like, "Hey, I'm staying over here. Fuck it, we'll deal when we come home."
You can't give this kid credit for coming up with an elaborate lie so he can go.
It wasn't even elaborate. Like that's what pisses me off even more. Like it was just you're an idiot, like an absolute moron when it comes to that shit. But my point is, I don't care if you're over your girl's house banging, right? Like it's the lie, and I can't. And it's my house, my rules. That's how I grew up. I didn't need to understand why. Like when the kid's like, well, what, went through his mom. Well, like, what made you change your mind? Like, you don't get to ask that. I mean, it was a very good question, by the way. It was I was like, but you don't get to have a conversation with me about the repercussions of breaking the rules of my house. And I don't care if you're fucking 60, by the way. You don't follow the rules of my house, you're out of my house. But I'm not going to let some 18-year-old kid who's the only reason he's breathing is because of us sit here and question my rules and then lie about them.
I feel like people are a little split on this.
They are.
Your sister says I encourage Lily to refine her cell, and if she's gonna lie about something, she better be more clever than me. Otherwise, I'm gonna feel like I failed. Yeah, see, Di gets it. Your sister gets it.
The kid breaking the rules, not the failure.
My parents moved out on me when I was 17, left me the rent, the furniture, the bills, etc. 0 to adult in 2 seconds flat. Yeah, I'll tell you, Jeff. Right? That's
my bad, Jeff. You must have been a shit kid.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. When your parents abandon you,
you're not just one. Not just one. It's both. It's both. They made a group decision, dude. Yeah. That's impressive. Good for you, Jeff.
When everybody else gets together and they're like, "We're getting the fuck out of here," it's you. It's 100% you.
That is you.
Wow.
Oh, dang. Wow, Jeff. My bad. We're gonna give you a hug later. God damn, dude. Woo!
Ah, man, I love that. Jeff just commented, no comment.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting time in my house. But I secretly having a little fun because it's just watching the two dynamics. I think the dynamic of a son and mom who are like tightly bonded, and it's just a completely different dynamic now, and they're trying to figure out like the playing field, right? It's like it's not your home turf, but he's out and he's moving in on the 14th of August, bro. To be out, dude.
And then what?
Oh, yeah, we've had that conversation in my house, and my wife's going back to school because she's an overachiever.
You're gonna have to step up your game. And by step up your game, I mean play less golf.
Yeah, no, I think it's more like, you know what I'm worried about is like we've had this distraction in the house, and then she's not gonna like me.
You know what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to take her to that shit where you like drink wine and paint. You know how they do that?
I can't. That was the last date I went on with my ex-wife.
Oh,
yeah, dude. I was so mad about going to. I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, it don't look like a horse. My shit look like a gator, a tall gator.
If you're at one of those paintings,
yo, your marriage is over, dude.
That's when you know.
That's the last page of the date book.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you might as well just paint your divorce papers right on the painting. I remember because we went down to West Hartford to do it, and I'm like, this is what we're doing. And then like I still didn't know she wanted to leave me, so I had like no clue. I probably would have maybe reacted a little bit better to it, but I'm like, I'm just looking around, and it was nothing but like sad couples. Because, like, I can tell you right now, like, 9.8 guys, like, just, they don't want to go paint and it's not easy, by the way. This isn't, like, something where, like, they think you're, like, Picasso. I'm like, can I just get some crayons and one of those coloring books? I was so angry.
Listen, you said when the show started, people were going to learn some shit tonight as we told some stories. And I think that, listen... again, if your wife asks you to go to painting and wine night, it's fucking over.
Just call me. Just preemptive, just
get Vin on the line.
Just text my phone. We'll get that paperwork filed by Friday.
Yeah, you're gonna want to protect your assets.
Make sure she pays.
Yeah. Well, and look, I think that's a really important thing. I took my wife to a concert the other night.
What concert?
You know what? I actually have the tickets are right here. I went and saw Blues Traveler with Gin Blossoms and Spin Doctor.
Holy time machine, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I am a huge Gin Blossoms fan.
I couldn't tell you one song.
Yeah, you know them all.
I probably did say
jealousy. Everybody at the Oakdale I mean,
was jamming out.
there's so many songs. But I love Gin Blossoms. That's my favorite, one of my all-time favorite bands, and from the '90s, I think one of the most underrated bands was Gin Blossoms. Anyway.
Yeah, no, not a big fan. I mean, I know the songs, but like,
Oh, last summer, in case you don't recall. I mean, I love them. I think that.
see, like I geeked out about the new Clips album. Anyone? Crickets? No.
Nobody knows what that is.
It is one of the best albums I've ever heard. Ever.
Really?
By far. Like the production on it is ridiculous. And I just love you know what it is? It's that old school hip hop, like that nostalgia. Like it's just good old fashioned hip hop. It's not this like weird, like drugged out kid rapping crazy. I think it's one of the top 3 things that's made me so happy this year. Is this album?
Damn.
I'm putting it on the table.
I have to look that up.
It's a good album. I'm telling you. I don't know if you guys are Clips fans out there or remember who the Clips were, but amazing balls.
Jeff saw all 3 of the bands I just mentioned: Spin Doctors, Blues Traveler, Gin Blossoms at Horde Fest at '95.
I thought that said Hog Fest.
First time getting ripped on shrooms, and then 3 weeks later, his family had that meeting.
I thought he said he went to a Hog Fest. And I'm like, wow. Can't say that anymore either, can you guys?
I'll bet you Jeff's been to a Hog Fest.
Dude, I used to walk around college. My buddy made these t-shirts that said Slam Pigs on them. I was literally looking for one the other day. I texted him. I'm like, dude, we still got those Slam Pig t-shirts? It was awesome. Those were the days, good old college days. And now my kid's gonna be doing it.
Oh, well, and again, right? You're like, don't do that stuff. Like,
it's
stop.
not, don't do it. Don't lie to me. It's not the action, it's the lie, bro. I don't care if he's like, I was doing a line of blow. I go get him. I won't even be mad. But you lie. I can't stand lying. Because like your whole relationship with your children,
I'll bet
are
you.
trust.
I'll bet you. I will bet you.
Did I lie to my mom?
I will bet you that Jess was going to tell you that he slept over his girlfriend's on Friday.
No shot.
Knocked some boots.
No shot.
And
he wouldn't.
He
wouldn't. I'm telling you, he wouldn't. He's not that type of kid.
I think, because he's a good person, I think the guilt of lying would have weighed on him after a day or two. I think by Tuesday.
No.
He would have told you what happened.
No, he wouldn't have.
It would have been one of those, do it. What is it? What's the expression? Ask for forgiveness, or how does that go?
Yeah, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah. So I think, and again, you can see, and I want to dissect this a little bit. I think everybody here is with me. This kid, and this is why I think you got played. He's doing it right? He's like, I'm not upset at you.
Yeah.
And mom, I'm upset at myself.
Yeah.
Because I let everybody down.
Yep.
By lying. Now, what he meant was he figured out that the crime wasn't the sleepover or whatever that might have entailed. But in fact, he figured out the lie was that he didn't tell his homie.
No, he didn't. Well, me and his mom.
But you mostly.
No, he lied to
his
mom.
He's not going to tell. It was going to be something. I mean,
he wouldn't have told me. I'm telling, like, I know you think he's a normal kid, but he's not. And here's the problem.
But this is how people learn.
Well, there's just consequences.
And they make adjustments. So he now understands
there's
that
consequences.
Best bet going forward is to be like, Vin, hey, listen.
Well, correct. So it's not like I hold it over the kid.
I told mom I'm going to sleep over at Eric's house, but I'm actually going to be over with like Natasha. Is that cool?
No.
Come on, Vin.
No.
Why?
Because it's our house, our rules. You can't disrespect your mom.
I'm telling you the truth, though.
Yeah, but you're disrespecting.
Get mad.
But you're disrespecting your mom. And
How?
I don't, because you're lying to her.
That's not disrespecting. That's protecting her feelings. That's actually a very
nice
sign of respect.
It's I'm telling you, I have no fuse for this. Like, I don't, like, I can't.
I mean, as an attorney, you don't have any, there's no leeway here. There's no.
No, because I'm not an attorney at home. Like, my.
Well, I mean, technically,
like I was raised like I didn't listen to my mom all the time, but there was consequences.
Right.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but like
it looks like you suffered a lot.
I did. You don't know how hard my
I'm only
life
playing.
was.
No, I know.
You got jokes, Joe?
No, of course
You got
I
jokes?
don't.
Now
No.
now Joe's making this podcast personal. And I might have to go attorney, red zone, fuck all that let me let that hang out for 7 seconds. Hold on, let me try it. Hold on. We're gonna give you 7 seconds. Hold on, we're almost done. Repeat that, Joe. See how well my communication trick worked? Welcome to Change of Plans podcast, everyone.
Vincent Miller says, "Do as I say, not as I do." Vince, I think
you don't want to do what Vin Miller's doing, by the way.
I think it's for me. I try to make sure that I live by my words, that I live by the lessons that I instill in my many children. I have 4 children.
Chill out, Will.
Many children.
This guy's out here like Sean Kemp.
Listen, and I hope you don't. That's funny. Anybody that's not a sports fan, look up Sean Kemp. You'll get a kick out of that. I'm not suggesting that you're wrong. I'm not suggesting that I'm right. I'm not suggesting in this situation that I would have done things differently. You know your situation better than anybody. I do insist that you got played, and I think in the long run, this is that pivotal moment in Jesse's life where I think he's learning how to navigate.
No.
And it sucks that you're teaching him he's got to lie.
Coming back to me. Now my wife's gonna be mad at me.
Yeah.
Ain't no way, dude. I just no, I can't tell you like
You're on the ropes.
No, as much as I rag on my mom when I'm on this podcast about her punctuation and wanting to see your friend's dick, like I have
that's some weird shit, but
it is, but
cool.
it did happen on the show, and but it is. It's about the respect. Like you don't need to understand, you just need to comply. But here's the thing: I move on from it. Hey, you did something. Here was the consequence. We're good.
Right, but again, he took ownership. He did the whole.
But that's it. But that's right.
You.
No,
which
but
is, I think brilliant.
No, but what I would say about him, and I think this is, I've always said this about Jess, and that's just how he's always been as a person. Like he is very emotional for an 18-year-old kid. So when he says that stuff, I know when I'm being played because I deal with this shit.
Yeah,
18 hours a day. But to his credit, he is a very thoughtful, introspective kid, which also infuriates me because I'm like, bro, just be 18.
I was an altar boy. And
where's this going?
Oh, you'll see. And a paper boy. I was responsible.
Me too.
I was responsible. I was respected. I came across as a good kid. I was very smart. My freshman year, I went to Xavier, all boys Catholic school in Middletown, Connecticut.
So fancy.
And it took me about 2 weeks to become a bookie. And I was probably at 14 years old. I had quickly learned how you can take advantage of people, especially people who had money. Because I didn't have a lot. I was poor. I was a poor kid growing up.
Going to a private school.
You
got to be real poor to go to a private school. That shit, that's a Trumpism right there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I was so poor I went to private school.
But I learned
how poor you were.
So I've always been an entrepreneur, and I've always figured things out. Again, I was making insane money at 14 years old as a bookie. I even for a short while, because I'm an investor, I started buying skateboard decks and then selling them to people.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't even know why. I got a deal on decks. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. When I was 18 years old in college, I started selling fake IDs. Had quite the commercial business going. I actually secured laminate from the state of Connecticut.
Nice.
so that we could rip your laminate off, do up your license, and then I could re-laminate it. So when you went to the bar, there was nothing to rip off. It's fucking genius. And I sold drugs all through the way. Just weed. But my point is this, Vin.
I can't wait for you to get there.
As a paper boy and an altar boy, right? Again, good kid, respectful. You know, people are like, hey, this kid's a little odd. He's very respectful, very emotional. Every time I got in trouble, every time one of these endeavors got me in front of some authority, I went right with the I'm more disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
I really let everybody down.
Yep.
My family, the community, the establishment, whatever one we're in. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know if you guys all remember, what was it, like 2018 when they were like white privilege and people were like, what the fuck is that? I heard about white privilege and I was like, oh, fucking yes.
Yeah.
I have been cashing in on that my whole life. You met my buddy McCrae.
Yep.
McCrae and I broke into a cigarette vending machine and stole 91 packs of cigarettes. We got in no trouble for that.
Yep.
And again, when I hear the term white privilege, I immediately
Bingo.
flash back to like, oh, I remember doing $500 worth of damage in the middle of the night, having smuggled all sorts of people into this building illegally, and having the disciplinarian guy say,
do better.
you know what he said to me? You know what he said to me? You're a good kid. You messed up.
Yeah.
And I went, yes, sir, you're right, I am. I'm a real good kid, and I messed up. And
I love the Lord.
I'll never do it again, sir. You're right. I get it. So I guess my point is this.
Do you like my hat going on the white
by the way,
privilege?
yes, I love your hat. You know, it's funny. I think I lost a friend
Yeah.
and a listener on the AM station I work on because of this podcast.
Why?
Because I would say on this podcast, you and I are pretty outspoken on, especially when Trump does
crazy shit like I'm gonna reduce medication prices by 1,000%.
Yeah.
650. That means, guys, by the way, you want to invest in something, as soon as Trump's reduction in fucking medicine prices of 1,000%, that means you're getting paid to do your prescriptions. So fuck the stock market. I'm going to buy some Oxy tomorrow.
He said egg prices dropped 400%. And it's like,
yeah,
it's not possible, dude.
Yeah, dude. Someone's not paying for my fucking eggs, dude.
It makes me wonder if that guy understands economics at all. Like, dude, just to say that out loud. The price is down 400%. It's like, you know, that's not possible, right?
Dude, it's every day is something just incredible. Incredible. And like, so he was talking about Obama, right? And all this evidence they have for the treason. And he's like, we got him so hard in blue. And I'm like, what do you even mean by that? So I don't care if fucking Joe Biden was drooling on himself on Ambien during his last debate. Like, this shit is fucking wild. And it is every day. I think my favorite one he just had was, I don't know if he was at a convention and he was talking about his uncle who was a professor at MIT. So,
oh my God, yes.
Yes, right. So he's like, he was the longest standing tenured professor. He wasn't. He had a master's in engineering and mathematics. He didn't. Yep. Okay, we all embellish a little bit on our family. The best was, Timothy McVeigh was in his class.
No. Unabomber.
Yeah.
Unabomber. Kaczynski.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kaczynski.
Yeah.
And,
Hilarious.
and like they're like, what? They're like, yeah. I remember talking to my grandfather about how smart this guy was. Like, this guy is just so off the cuff. He's
Yes.
like a bad improv person. And then they're like fact checking. His uncle died 12 years before this guy like existed.
Yes.
And it's just like, I mean, you don't even gotta get the policies, because what infuriates me, because I think of the president as a salesperson, right? He's the number one guy in your marketing firm. And this is what we got. And say what you want, but when you anytime this guy opens his mouth, it is just unbelievable. He was just at, I think, the Fed building, and they were talking about the budget for the new buildings. And the guy's like, no, you added in the number from a building. He's like, no, they're still building it, so it counts. He's like, it was built 5 years ago. Like, who does he have on his staff?
He needs some people that could just be honest with him about stuff. I'm telling you right now, if Biden did the shit Trump does and says on a daily basis, and I'll tell you, I mean, Joe Biden made me nervous, man. Biden,
not to his own fault, but that guy had no business other than being in a home somewhere.
Yes,
like the Democrats propped him up, and I feel bad for the guy, right? He didn't even want to do a second term, but he didn't have a choice. And then imagine being a president and you're driving around with fuck Biden t-shirts and signs. Meanwhile, you're losing your mind and you're just watching it happen. And everyone gets mad at Biden like it was his decision. It wasn't, right? Like, but you have a guy now who I don't think is much more coherent than Biden.
Well, you know, it's funny during the election, but obviously before he dropped out, I said, you know, I thought just like the first time they ran against each other, don't bring up rapes because you both have accusations, right? So let's just agree to not bring that.
Yeah,
shit
we're just
up.
gonna.
And then, you know, obviously he talked about Dementia Joe and Sleepy Joe and all that shit. And I thought, oh, dude, I would steer clear of the he's got cognitive decline because you're not exactly hitting it out of the park. You know what I mean?
No, dude, he just got an eval and he's the healthiest president of all time.
But I did say on this podcast a couple months ago, and this person, I think, stopped being my friend because of it. I said, I have a problem with people who tie their identity to a political
1,000%.
I'm sorry to say, and listen, if I Donald Trump is doing the things Donald Trump said he was going to do to the people that elected Donald Trump. So I don't begrudge Donald Trump for fulfilling campaign promises. Okay. If Donald Trump is your hero and, you know, this whole owning the libs thing, if that's like, that's your jam and that's what you're basing your vote on, and you're probably lower middle class or middle class at best, and you want to see billionaires get tax cuts and rake in all the money, and you want to see bases get named after Confederate generals again, and none of this shit's to benefit your life at all, but you're owning the libs because it was so hard under Biden with all those jobs and the economy thriving. I mean, listen, inflation was bad, and that obviously hurt the Democrats as well. It should. When inflation's through the roof, you should expect to get wiped out in an election, even to a felon. Now, and I'm glad you're here for this because you're an attorney. Donald Trump was convicted in 34 felonies.
I already know where you're going with this.
If you could, because I'm not an attorney.
Yep.
I'm just a really smart person with opinions. But if you could bang this home for me, I've heard people say the following: 34 felonies. It should have been a misdemeanor they only bumped this up for Trump, but in fact, they bumped it up because of the amount of money involved and that it was
Correct.
that much more of a crime.
Correct. It's not up to the discretion of the prosecutor.
Yeah. They don't just get to decide what it's going to be. It was
Correct.
because of the size it was. Now, a lot of people also wanted to excuse it because this was a victimless crime. You know, the defrauding of banks is a victimless crime.
Has no effect on the rest of us.
It doesn't, it doesn't have any effect
effect.
on my ability to get a loan.
Correct.
No.
No, go ahead. It doesn't matter.
So, I guess in conclusion, this idea, I've also heard nobody even knows what Donald Trump was being charged with in that trial. I've heard people actually say that. They don't even know.
It's not that hard to find out.
However, earlier this week, much like these accusations against Obama, this wasn't as big of a deal, but Donald Trump and company have accused Senator Adam Schiff of mortgage fraud. Apparently, he doesn't live full-time in California, and he got a better deal on a loan in Maryland.
Got to use our occupancy one, yeah.
So all of a sudden, we give a shit about mortgage fraud.
Well, I mean,
just like that,
right?
Mortgage fraud, top
It's
of mind.
huge.
We gotta stop that shit now before. This is my problem with the Trump people. Is this fucking dude can do all of that stuff and you're fine with it.
But when someone else does
it and you want him in prison. And I have to tell you,
for
your basic understanding of law and the fucking Constitution goes right out the fucking window when you say dumb shit like that. Okay? You're not gonna suck the guy's mushroom dick. It's never gonna happen. Let it go.
but here's but this goes back to the parent conversation, right? Where it's just like, hey, are you gonna get mad at your kid for doing something you did? Right? It's full circle. You like how I did that? So this is where the full circle. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Change your plans. This is why I'm a life coach. But I thought you were going somewhere else with this because this is what I can't figure out.
I was probably going there, and then
this is what I can't figure out. So he's got 34 felonies.
Yeah.
As a felon, you can't be in control of any weapons. It's weird. He is the commander-in-chief.
Yes.
Of the Army, the Navy, Marines, and everything else with the largest weapons in the world.
Was he able to vote for himself in the last election?
No. And the best part is, like, he's got a nuke suitcase with him at all times, but yet he's a felon. So if you don't want to say there's white privilege,
yeah.
Because let me ask you something, everybody. If Obama was running with 34 felonies,
I can just hear the racist jokes now, honestly.
Like, fire away.
Here's the other thing, right? This guy, and I got to tell you, not impressed so far, but Tulsi Gabbard and President Trump have accused Barack Obama. I don't even know what the fucking word that he made. Sedacious.
No, it's not even a word, which is awesome, by the way. It's awesome. You got a president making up words on live air.
They have made some serious accusations against Barack Obama that I personally believe, if true, this guy would be hung like Mike Pence was going to be for not doing anything wrong.
Or just trying to protect the White House by himself.
However, I have heard Tulsi Gabbard use the word evidence over and over and over again without actually showing anything that I would call evidence myself. I'm looking for something. There's a lot of conjecture at this point, and these are pretty hefty allegations. This would be unprecedented in American history. I don't. Matter of fact, Trump said there's no evidence. There's just proof. Now, I don't know what the fuck that means. There's no evidence. There's just proof. Help me out with that, then.
Well, here's what people don't seem to understand. This shit has been investigated by every department of the government, and they don't shoot and not hit.
By the way, we're talking about 2017, and now don't forget who was in office.
Correct.
With all of these documents for 4 entire years.
Yeah. So they don't shoot and miss. And so you could be one of two people, a rational human being, saying this guy's deflecting like a 18-year-old child. Tie it back. You're welcome, guys. Yep. Full circle again. Maybe we'll change the name to Full Circle. Or you're just a fucking idiot. And go ahead, hate me, defriend me, all of that shit. But it's just common sense, everybody. Like, frankly, do I care about a pedophile who fucking got killed in prison? He didn't die. He didn't kill himself, everybody. As a criminal attorney who deals with this every day, he got whacked. Like, that's what happens with these people. I've had clients that hogtied people and fucked them with broomsticks. Like, so just letting you know from like someone who does this shit. Both sides
were going to get exposed. Yeah. I'm sure. But what the fuck does that mean? You think pedophiles are only in one party, you dummies?
But here's the, and this is where I think is going to burn Trump. Because his party's starting to be like, bro, you ran on this shit.
Yeah.
And there is photos and whatever. And people go say, oh, he just took a flight. Doesn't mean he was doing anything.
Yes.
Okay. Let me tell you someone.
A lot of people went to that island and didn't have sex with minors.
Correct. I can tell you I represent.
It's called the wait staff.
Yeah. I represent pedophilers. I know the MO. Not that I'm happy about it, but it's what I do for a living. And it's just, I heard the funniest bit the other day.
Vin, I wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah. No, so there was a congressman who came out and was just like, you know how these rich people are. If their jet's broken down, they just call another jet, see if there's an opening. And would you just oh, my jet doesn't work. Let me call the Pedophiler Express. Right? I just happened to call Jeffrey Epstein. Right? But he ran on this shit because he's a fucking moron. And then he's like, oh, shit, I'm all over this shit. And for people to say, well, it's just the Dems making it up, going back to this Obama treason shit, they would have made up the whole shit, had a coloring book with these two fucking on it. The problem is that everyone's getting suckered. And now I think the MAGA party is realizing it, they're just more indoctrinated to Trump because it's like a child knowing that they did wrong. And I'm not. And going back to the Dems, hey, it's your fault. You ran out of fucking there's no way they're winning, right? So this is what you get. But to blindly just support someone, put policies aside, right? I want to argue about policies. Listen, I do well. Trump helps me out. Right? Do I think his policies suck? Absolutely. They make zero sense just on a common sense basis. But as a human being, as a individual, he's an atrocious human being.
Yes.
And 95% of his supporters he would never even fucking look at, which is hilarious.
And then once he'd look at are pieces of shit as well.
The fact that he pulled up in a dump truck, you don't think he was mocking those people?
Yes.
Right,
because he respects garbage, man.
So I think it's not I don't want to be Trump bashing. I do hate the fucking guy, but I think just as a world, I opened the door for a guy the other day and he was just so happy. He was like, man, really? Thanks. Right? It's that simple in life, right?
Yeah.
Not to go on to my hat situation, but I bought this hat because it infuriates people when it says immigrants make America great. Right? But we're not in this private bubble. People Americans are hilarious. We were just native to this land. This was always ours, which is just crazy. Right. So the fact that you're judging people because they have a Hispanic name, they're not on. Hey, listen, you want to get them out because they committed crimes and all this shit. Cool beans, bro. I mean, it's less business for me, but it is what it is. But like, if you could sit there just as a human being and look at someone and say, like, I need to see your papers, it's fucking crazy to me because we're all in this shit.
Yeah.
Everything we do, and I fall habit to it in my practice as a lawyer of you really have to fight getting to the next case, getting the money versus knowing you're dealing with a person and their problems. Right. Like, and it's about, I just heard a quote actually on my way here about like, it's not about your status, it's about your presence. Right. Like, so you could have, no one's going to remember the hours you worked. They're going to remember the time you spent with them. Right. And I think that's the biggest thing. Cause I think if you take 10 minutes every day to talk to somebody, your perspectives change. But like to just judge someone, and it's crazy because I know when me and you were growing up, I don't know if I ever looked at someone different because they were black, Hispanic, whatever. I was just like just another fucking kid, another dude I know at school, right? Another dude I work with, and maybe there was a lot more racism and we didn't see it because of the media and social media and things, which I'm blessed for. I'm glad I grew up like that. But like the blatant, like, I don't even know how we got on this topic, but like the racism in this country and the fact that it's just out there now, and maybe because we see it more, it's fucking insane. Like, it's wildly insane. Like, it's like this guy who just, I think, got pulled over in Florida, got punched in the face.
Yes.
Right.
Come on.
So I love the white people who are like, well, he should have just complied with the police rules. Well, 9.5 out of 10 people don't. And that's why I have a fucking job. But if you think it was a white dude to sit in the car and he's catching a right hook in the fucking driver's side seat, you're out of your fucking mind. Right. And like, there's just that what infuriates me is the people who justify it. Right. We should all be on that same plane. You know, white or indifferent.
Yeah, again, listen. If you're stupid enough to be on the side of government or law enforcement, that's your immediate default. You're a bootlicker.
Yeah.
Like
there, and I tell people I tell my clients there's very good cops and detectives. There's bad ones. There's good doctors, good lawyers. There's good people and bad people. Right. But call a spade a spade.
Yes.
Like. And it sucks because the thing I wouldn't want to do is be law enforcement, right? I just want it in this day and age. I think you're putting your lives on like, and I'm thankful for our police, our fire department, and all of that shit.
Yes.
But to just blindly say it doesn't happen and justify it.
Well, also again, these people want to give cops
a pass,
like the president, immunity, and it's like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Well, like imagine like
you're talking about people walking around with guns, and I have to worry he's afraid for his life, and I don't even have a gun.
Well,
I
think
when he fears for his life, he can just fucking shoot me, and that's okay. Because what? I didn't do shit fast enough. Get the fuck out of here with that dumbass shit.
Well, the best part is these ICE agents who don't have to identify themselves.
Yeah, I'm sorry, big fucking problem.
Well, and if you think there's not people out there pretending to be ICE agents and just yoking up people, you're out of your fucking mind.
If I was a serial killer right now, I would just go out and get one of those ICE outfits, and I would have a collection of people.
Because they're like, oh, we got to protect her. Listen, this is what you signed up for, and I am thankful for every military service person across the board because it's shit I wouldn't do, but that's what you sign up for, right? But then you get ICE agents in the middle of a fucking park in LA while kids are playing wiffle ball and shit and poking people out, and they don't know who they are. Like, the people who actually like comply with this shit are much better than me. Right? Like, I'll never have to worry about an ICE agent coming to my house because of the way I look. We can confirm it, right? But I tell you, if I was of a different descent and some rando in a mask came at my house, we're gonna have a fucking problem. You know, but it's crazy and ignorant to think that this country was built on some like white people foundation shit. Like, why the fuck do you think there were slaves?
Right.
Like, that's the crazy part. Like, I saw something on fucking TikTok the other day, some young ass white kid talking fucking crazy. And I'm like, this country was built on different looking people.
Yeah.
And people have a short fucking memory. But read a history book. Like, this is what makes America great, because we have everything here.
I'm a second generation American.
Yeah.
My family has not been here for a ton of time. So we weren't fucking around into that slavery shit like y'all were. But
all our listeners, that's harsh.
we're a more recent addition to this thing. And again, I mean, immigration is what has made America great. And also, you are a piece of shit if you tell a Native American to go back where they came from. You're the dumbest person. Just so we're clear.
Like, but I will say, too, is, and I have a lot of African American friends, and they're like, I just want to go back to the motherland. That shit kind of bothers me, because I'm like, bro, you have no idea what your ancestry had to do to get here, make a better life for yourself. And when people are like, oh, our poor are poor here, like, you have no fucking clue. Like, you know how many people I talk to and be like, yeah, I don't have a lot. I may even be fucking homeless, but I'm better off than the homeless people elsewhere. So when you're complaining about this country, which I can't fucking stand to begin with, just think about that, because unless you're holding on to a plane,
right,
trying to get out of America, go to fucking bed.
Also, when you tell Black Americans who are ancestors of slaves to go back where they came from, that's kind of a bigger insult too, because they were taken from where they came from.
Correct.
Their names were changed.
Correct.
They don't know the language or the culture, and many of them, even where they came from in the fucking first place. So when you say that, you're showing an insane amount of ignorance and racism. Nice job.
We're going to the question. Dude, we've been on for an hour and some change.
2 weeks ago, we brought this up, and I figure we need to take care of this tonight. What is something you regret telling someone? I'll go first. Mine was telling the Newington police that I was the guy on camera. in hindsight, I would have said no comment. Yeah, that was regretful.
Yeah, that I don't have that.
Don't ever tell the police anything. Would you say that's a fair assessment? No offense to the cops. You're wonderful people.
We're going to give you some legal advice. One, you never talk to the cops. Two, this is the best DUI advice you're ever going to have. Disclaimer, don't drive drunk. Cop pulls you over for a DUI. You hand over the license and don't say another word. As a matter of fact, don't say any fucking words. All you have to do is hand over your license. Don't answer, well, I just had one drink. Fucking dum-dum. I just came from a bar. Dum-dum. Nothing. Because then they can't do anything. Like, you get those DUI checks. It's the best thing in the world. Pull through, license, no words. You don't give a name. You don't say, hi, officer. You say shit, and they can't do fucking nothing. So that's a free legal bit for tonight. And but if you do get a DUI, just call me 860-680-5731.
That's interesting as hell.
I got you covered.
Yeah, boy.
I don't know if I have one. If there's something you regret telling someone, I don't have one of those.
I actually have one other one. I did something bad when I was 19. And it involved a friend's girlfriend.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
It was I'm not going to tell the story because I don't think anybody wants to hear it. But it was not something I was planning on. Put it to you like that. And I had to tell both my best friend and my girlfriend that had happened.
And you regret saying that?
And I regret saying it, to be quite honest. I didn't need to hassle that afternoon, now that I think on it.
I look at the question, and I would say, like, for me, if I was to answer the question, what is something you regret not telling someone? I don't have a specific instance, but I think it's just not taking enough time out to talk, right? So I had a buddy of mine. He used to be a client, turned into like one of my best friends. And he calls me all the time, texts me, and he's like, bro, I just want to know you're okay. Right. And I talked to him and I gave him a hard time. I called him all sorts of names and stopped being soft. But like in the back of my head, I'm like, you know what? I got it. I got to do that. So I think for me, it's just not taking the time out to call. Like I think sometimes I don't know if people are calling me because they wanted some help or they just want to see how I'm doing. But you don't know unless you pick up the phone. So I think that is my answer to that question for this week.
Oh, damn.
So on that was an emotional note. We're going to end the show. It's an hour and 10 minutes.
It's a pretty good one.
I think it was a good one. This one flowed nicely. It was very unexpected, but I like it.
I tell you, I feel better. I
feel you like you're.
I was very keyed.
You're not like aggressively chewing snow caps like a fucking Shrek over.
I do wish I had more snow caps.
You were like straight Shrekking earlier, but no, I think the beautiful part about this podcast is we get to do it, and I think both of us feel better at the end of it. Hopefully, everyone does too. But I know for me, it's cathartic for me, not to get all mushy on you, but we need this. And as much as our people like listening to it, it's also good for us. So I just want everyone to know this is good for everybody around.
And I stand by the fact that my boss is an asshole. I was totally in the right.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe's boss.
ChangeOfPlanCT.com, by the way, is the website if you want to.
No one ever asked for my life coaching skills, but it's okay because I still like doing the podcast.
I had a guy ask me about you giving him life lessons. His name is Bob. I'm gonna hook you guys up.
I'm glad you said life lessons because I thought that was going another way, and I got to pay tuition, so I'd do that too.
Damn.
Change of plans, CT. Let's check it out. Everyone have a good night. Talk to you soon.